Hello and welcome to Expat Lifestyle with Bads. In this episode I visit the Boboli Gardens, a bit of a hidden gem in Florence, but well worth a visit if you can fit it into your itinerary. So before I share with you my experiences at the Boboli Gardens, a little bit of history about these gardens. The gardens themselves are behind the Pitti Palace, so really the gardens are the backyard of the Pitti Palace. Hey, what a great place for the Medici children to play in. Cosimo Medici was the influential figure in having these gardens designed and constructed in the 16th century. It is the largest outdoor museum in Florence. So we've got some ancient statues there, certainly Renaissance statues, and you'll shortly see you get a fantastic view also of the Duomo when you enter the gardens through the Pitti Palace. The architecture, the green architecture, is just amazing and well worth seeing. The gardens themselves are spread out over 11 acres, so give yourself 1 to 2 hours to explore the gardens at leisure. And it's at leisure when you can really enjoy the peacefulness. I found it quite mindful, and you'll see I went quite early in the morning. It was so relaxing. And those of you who have visited Florence or are going to, the Ponte Vecchio, the old bridge, is a great landmark, and literally it's a 5-minute walk up towards the Pitti Palace, and gardens are behind the Pitti Palace. Now you can access the gardens from about 8:15 a.m. and it's about €10, unless you have a resident card, and fortunately I have, so it'll cost you, it cost me, €0. I love that. And look, with summer approaching, the best time to visit would be early in the morning because it does get quite hot here in the afternoon, bearing in mind that you will be doing a bit of walking too. And look, apologies for the glasses, but it's quite glary out here. I'm actually on my veranda at the back. It's a lovely place, and look, the Duomo is only a 3-minute walk away. I'm very lucky to be living here. So I hope you enjoy this Boboli Gardens episode, and as always, thumbs up, bell notifications on, and please subscribe. Let's go in and check out the Boboli Gardens. Ciao. Buongiorno, good morning. And here we are outside the Pitti Palace. We're going in not to see the palace today, but the Boboli Gardens. They're apparently fantastic. It's early morning, it's a bit fresh. So I'll just show you a little bit of the gardens today. The gardens which are situated behind the Pitti Palace, bought by the Medici family I guess in the 1500s. So this is Oltrarno, the suburb just adjoins Santo Spirito. So it's on the southern side of the Arno River. You cross the Ponte Vecchio, the old bridge, to come up here to the Pitti Palace. So we've just gone through the security ticket entrance there, coming to a lovely big courtyard on our way to the Boboli Gardens. And obviously the entrance is just there. Okay, so we've just come into the garden area, back of the Pitti Palace, and have a look at this. A nice little vista across to the Duomo and the Palazzo Vecchio Tower, the hills in the background. First impressions, the wow factor, not a bad backyard for the kids to have a playing. Basically the Medicis bought the Pitti Palace because they wanted a garden. Well, they didn't hold back, did they? No one here because it's early Sunday morning, Easter Sunday everyone. Enjoy your Easter Sunday. Palace is just huge. We're going up towards Neptune, and behind that the gentleman's pavilion. Now obviously that's where I belong. Okay, so we've got Neptune there, a little small little lake, I guess. Probably stock it with some fish, some trout. Lovely private gardens. The birds are chirping, sun's out. It's about 8 degrees now, and looking back down towards the Pitti Palace. And look, in the Boboli Gardens there's lots of these things called steps. Okay, so be prepared. Opportunity. It's an opportunity, isn't it, for a bit of physical activity. Nothing wrong with that. Alright, so have a little look at this. It sort of looks across the western part of Florence. But hear the birds chirping. Oh, it's great. I love that. And behind me is the gentleman's pavilion. I'm very interested in that. Okay, so I've just zoomed in a little bit. There's the Santa Maria Novella church. Can we see that there with the trains behind? And back inside the gardens here, got lovely little buildings along there. And look, there's no one here this morning. Come in early. Little oasis in a busy Florence. Okay, so I'm coming up to the gentleman's pavilion. I think this is where I belong. Okay, so the gentleman's pavilion, I'm assuming is behind me there, and this is the area, I believe, where I belong. Back in the day, I think I was born a few centuries too early. The nobility, talking myself up here a little bit, obviously, but I reckon I'd be the president of the Gentleman's Pavilion. What do you think? So have a look at the gardens behind the small hedges. I mean, we're just into early spring, so things are starting to grow. Just wonderful. Some rose bushes as well. Lovely spot. Hey, I'm going to flip the camera around because we're looking over some of the hills of Tuscany here. Right, so I came through those gates. Look at the climbing rose there, the yellows. Overlooking the hills, which are leading into southern Tuscany. So just looking over towards Piazzale Michelangelo, the lookout, but we're in Boboli Gardens. Can you hear the church bells chiming? Just giving you a little snapshot of the views. The very top of the Boboli Gardens, the Gentleman's Pavilion. The Gentleman's Pavilion. I just feel like I belong here. Wonderful. I'll walk back towards the gates. It's the water. Bit of feng shui happening as well. So relaxing. Easter Sunday in Florence, obviously. Very important morning. Aren't these buildings lovely? Wonder what they are. Oh, there you go, security guards. So that's where the security guards live, I guess, while they're on the job. And yeah, too nice, aren't they, buildings just to be restrooms? But there you go. There you go. The light on the buildings, early morning light. It's fantastic for photography, and just another reason to get out early. You know, avoid the crowds, obviously, but the light for taking photos and video and so on is just magical. Get up early. Just didn't realise how large the Boboli Gardens were, and it just keeps giving, doesn't it? It's a 3-minute walk up to the Fountain of the Little Snouts. Wonder the snouts of a pig? I don't know, but it looks great, doesn't it? Look at that. Just keeps giving, the Boboli Gardens. It's such an expansive area. Get away from the hustle and bustle. Right. You just want to walk down there, don't you, to check it out. So we've got the lemon house here. And look, I think you can work out what's inside. But let's go and have a look anyway. Lots of lemon trees. It's a bit like a greenhouse, isn't it, I guess? All the fruit. Look at that. And you know what we can make from lemons? Limoncello. Okay, here we go. This is the lemon house. Okay, so also lots of great views from the Boboli Gardens too. Have a look at that. I mean, we've seen it a lot, but it is a central point of Florence. Duomo, Palazzo Vecchio Tower there, just wonderful. So here's the Medici grotto, and we know it's a Medici family because see the coat of arms there with the coins. 6 coins representing the money and I guess the power. You'll see that coat of arms around many places in Florence actually. So there's the grotto there. So the other thing there with the Palazzo Vecchio Tower, where the Medicis lived, you can see, we know they built a corridor all the way to Pitti Palace. Well, I'm standing in the Boboli Gardens and we can see the corridor here, which runs and connects into the Pitti Palace, which is just behind me. Okay, so we're coming back up to the Pitti Palace. I've just noticed the southern wing. It's all window shutters up. It's closed. It looks deserted. There has to be a reason for that. Hey, who's seen my ghostly night tour of Rome? I'm not saying it's haunted, but I don't know. Would you want to spend a night in there? Okay, so there you have it, the Boboli Gardens in Florence. Well worth a visit. The dilemma for you, if you're on a 2 or 3 day visit here into Florence, is the time, isn't it? You just haven't got time to see everything. So you really have to prioritise what you want to see and what you want to do when you arrive in Florence. Have a plan with a little bit of flexibility. There's so much to see here, isn't there? Hey, so that's it for Expat Lifestyle with Bads. As always, please thumbs up, subscribe, bell notifications on. See you next episode. Ciao.